Forget the Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Healthcare Law.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Hi, everyone. I'm not the Grinch. I'm Brenda Butner. This is Bulls and Bears. The kickoff of the holiday shopping season just days away. Now, America's biggest retailer warning, uncertainty over the healthcare law may hurt holiday spending. So will Obamacare be the Grinch that steals holiday sales? Here they are, the Bulls and Bears this week. Gary B. Smith, Jonas Max Ferris, John Layfield, along with Gary Kaltbaum and Sasha Burns. Welcome to everybody. So Gary K., the healthcare law, the new Grinch for holiday sales?
Oh, yeah, big yes. Look, if Walmart says so, you better listen. But the bottom line is there's a simple rule. It's called uncertainty. It's a certain word. There's so much uncertainty out there about fines, fees, and how much it's going to cost and when you're going to have to pay. Whenever that's in the air, people are going to take a step back and there's going to be headwinds. So whatever numbers come out for the holidays, it would have been more if this wasn't going on.
Well, Sasha, you can blame a lot on Obamacare, but can you blame this?
Well, you can blame everything on Obamacare. Like you said, it seems to be the scapegoat of the week. But as a standalone, it's not going to hurt. But as a continuation of the debt crisis and the government shutdown and this lack of consumer confidence and pessimism in the ability of the government to function and help with a sustained economic recovery, and that way, yes, it does add to it.
And really, Gary B., it is all about expectations here. It's hard to quantify how Obamacare might have people pulling in their purse strings, but it's all about expectations. If they're worried and confidence goes down, they don't spend.
Well, exactly, Brenda, but I disagree with you on one point. I don't think it is hard to quantify. I mean, in the most recent Forbes study, in 49 states, the average premium is expected to go up 41%. So if you've gotten a letter like I have from Blue Cross Blue Shield, it's easy to find out what your new premiums are going to be. If you've been one of the 6 or 7 people fortunate enough to log on to healthcare.gov, you know what your new premiums are going to be. If you're using one of the other state exchanges that is up and running, or the one in D.C., you know what your premiums are going to be, and you're getting sticker shock. Now, you might not have to start paying the premiums right away. I don't have to start paying a new premium for a few months, but it's right there in front of you. And for example, in my case, I know that over the course of the year, my premium's going to go up $2,000 to $3,000. Now, for a lot of families, they're going to go, whoa, I got to pay another $2,000, $3,000 next year? And I'll tell you what, I have a bare bones policy, so for a lot of people, it's going to be a lot more. That's going to hit them right in the pocketbook. And getting back to your point, expectations, people are going to say, you know what, I'm not going to spend so much for Christmas this year, and certainly not next year.
So I'm off your Christmas list then. That's what I really have to worry about.
You are always on it.
Okay.
You're just not getting a very good gift.
Okay, thank you. Well, Jonas, you know, the cost of health care is a question mark, but you have to have it. And holiday shopping, you don't have to have it. You can pull in the purse strings.
Yeah, look, there's going to be a better holiday season for health insurance companies than Walmart this year because there's a government mandate that you buy health insurance. And some people choose not to buy health insurance. Some can't afford it, but some just don't want it or don't want a lot of it, and they are buying other stuff with their money. If my state stopped mandating people to buy car insurance, or my bank didn't care if I had fire insurance, then I might not do those things and might spend it at Walmart. But in this case, yes, it will cut into some sales. It won't hurt as much as we're talking about, probably because a lot of the Walmart shoppers may get a subsidized policy. Now, if they had no policy, that's still going to cost them money. But I think the high end of the luxury buyer, who actually sees their taxes going up to pay for Obamacare, that's where you're going to see some spending cuts.
John, where do you see it? Do you see it this year, maybe snowballing into next year as well?
I see it basically starting in the spring. I believe it's not going to start this Christmas. I think we're starting to see the uncertainty that Sasha and others talked about right now, and I think that is hurting consumer sentiment. But I think what hurts it more than anything is the lowest labor force participation rate since 1978. We have a couple million fewer jobs than we had at the pre-recession levels, and most of those jobs, according to the Federal Reserve San Francisco board, have been low-wage jobs that have taken the place of higher-wage jobs. So I think what we're seeing is down averages about 10% down projections for spending around Christmas, around $700 per family. I think we're going to be hurting this Christmas. I think it's going to be mild, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be because of Obamacare just yet. I think that happens in the spring.
Well, Gary K., John makes a good point because Walmart is the world's largest retailer, but a lot of times companies say something may have an impact because they hope to lower expectations. Do you think that's going on here?
I just think there's more than that. You have to remember something, and this is the Gary B's point, one more important thing. Just the fact that people are even looking at these numbers makes them take a step back. Just to get into a person's psyche, whether they make whether the middle class or less than that. If they see their premiums go up, or they see they don't want to buy insurance, but they got to pay this big fee, that is going to hit everywhere. It's not just going to be Walmart. It's going to be Target. It's going to be everywhere else. And John makes another great point. Just to look at the employment numbers. So many people not working, off the rolls. All this added up together is not good news.
Sasha, is it as dire as some of our gang are making it?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, for example, retail sales last month were up. And a lot of the trends that they're showing is that it's the spending by lower income consumers is down, but by higher income consumers isn't, because the stock market is doing very well. Also, auto sales are up, and large appliance sales are up. So, you know, for a Walmart or a discount store, a large percentage of their consumers are low income, and so that's where they're going to be at a different category than higher caliber stores that with more affluent customers.
Right. Well, Gary B., some of the lower income customers will be getting some sort of supplement. We don't know exactly how much because they can't get onto the website, but there will be some money getting pumped into the system, not before Christmas. But do you think that will have an impact?
You mean the money from the subsidy?
Yeah, the subsidies.
Well, yeah, but in a lot of cases, even the sign. I know, for example, when I went through and started to do the calculations for my 24-year-old daughter, she gets a subsidy, but it's still not going to be enough to offset the low-cost plan she's paying now. That's one of the Obamacare lies, that all these people are getting subsidies, but your premiums still go up. Yeah, it offsets it, but it's more than what you're paying now. And I'll tell you what, if she pays an extra, say it's called $700 a year, that affects her bottom line, her net income, a lot more than it affects mine. So she definitely would not be going to spend any more money at Walmart for Christmas gifts. Not that she's getting me one anyway, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well, you don't know. You'll have a stocking stuffer, I'm sure. Well, Jonas, Gary B. is talking now about low-income people having an impact on them. You said high income would also have an impact. On what order do you think this is going to hit?
Well, I see more impact on high income, again, not at the Walmart level, but because that's who's really paying, and to some extent people were having to buy more health insurance, but that's where the tax burden was for Obamacare. It's not at the lower end of this thing, so you're not seeing less after-tax pay like you are going to see when you sell stock if you're in a high bracket next year, this year. So that you might see it at the margin, luxury car sales, expensive items. But it doesn't mean the economy is going to go in the toilet either. If retailers have a hard time, and their stocks have been doing well for the last couple of years, healthcare companies are going to use more doctors, you're going to use more medical devices. So it's not great, but at the end of the day, the GDP for the economy isn't going to change, even though retailers might take a hit as you are forced to shift your spending dollars from consumer purchases to health insurance.
Okay. All right. That's got to be the last word. Thanks, guys.